Yo, this is your boy Mr. Cali. If you see me on the street, you can call me Cali. And here is an outpour of my story.
I got a bit of the bank to make me a safe house. Shake it up, shake it up. She got her hands on her knees and she bringing the cake out. Smoke it up, smoke it up. I got some gas, some packs. I'm up in the greenhouse. Ball it up, ball it up. I'm with the gang. We taking shots off the rebound. Fucking my post the same now. I've been humble too long. Yeah, tell them all to stay calm. Yeah, tell them all to move on. Yeah, fucking my post.
Okay, well, I came out a different way. Some of you can, relate to my story. I was actually in a relationship with someone. We were living together. My parents did not know I moved out. I was like around 21. And so we ended up breaking up. And that person that was pretty close to my parents as just a roommate told my parents. He told my mother first. And then my mother told my father. They didn't believe it at first. And I had to just let them know that, yes, Mom, it's true. I am gay. However, I'm the same person that you've loved and cherished and, taken care of all these years. However, my mother looked at me and said, you know what? You're right. I love you anyway. I don't believe in that, but I love you anyway. And that opened up the door to a great relationship with my parents. We're best friends now. Absolutely. I was so closed. I pretended to, love women in a way that was sexual. I've dated a lot of females to please my parents. And I took my power. I just decided, at the end of the day, I was closed. I couldn't tell my parents everything. So they didn't know the true Robert. My name is Robert, my dad's name. So, but yeah, they didn't know the true Robert. I had to pretend to be something I was not. When I came out, it definitely opened the floodgates with my parents. It let me become who I was. I was able to be Cali. That's not what the birth name they gave me, but I definitely, in all this sense, was a strong, confident black man. I didn't have to hide. I was able to be able to live my truth. And, we all have our journey. Mr. Cali came about when I decided to leave Long Beach, to leave my family, to not be dependent on my family. My parents were always, overprotective and trying to, try to steer me in the right way, which is not a bad thing. However, I wanted to do it my way. I ended up getting a development deal that went wrong in New York. And so I was faced with to either, be homeless or deal with different people, different situations, which I didn't want to do. I was still independent, still very stubborn. I ended up sleeping in subways. I was at Central Park. On warm days when it was cold, I was on the subways. So, or I was able to, then be able to, with being young and, somewhat attractive, you can make your way in life. So I used what I got to get where I got to go. So that's what I had to do. It was a place where I had to become independent for myself, and I did not want anyone to depend on. My parents would call me and try to send me money. I decided, I got in a lot of trouble. I made myself very vulnerable. However, I was able to be stronger from that. So, God willing, with my background, I took my trip and I continued to move forward. And then someone offered me a spot in a porn production. And you know what? I felt like that was like an uplifting part in my life because I was able to be independent. I said, if I'm going to do porn, if anything I do, I'm going to make sure that I'm great at anything that I do. And I'm going to be able to respect myself, and you will respect me when I walk in the room. So when I decided to do porn, I just needed the money. I was broke. I had nothing. I had education. I went to school for a little bit, but that school wasn't for me. When I decided to do porn, I was able to get paid my wage. I demanded my rate, and I was able to then be able to choose the people I'm going to work with, brand myself. I took matters into my own hands. I was able to help other people in the long run. I was able to help other actors that were, coming into the business about with my experience. No, I was not very young. I started later.
Okay, so
and everybody thinks that I'm younger, but
could you start?
right.
Could you talk about that?
Well, see, I stayed in L.A. until I was 30 years old because my mother was there, and she was very sick, and I didn't want to leave her. So it was not until I left when I turned 30 years old, she passed away. And that was a very hard time in my life. That was probably one of the reasons why I left LA and stayed away from LA, would never go back to LA because LA's not home anymore. And actually, it's so sad to say, but today's her birthday. So I came here to tell you my story. I realized that I was good at what I do, and I've branded myself through social media. Social media was so like actually on the rise and starting to be relevant. And I started placing my own videos, my own content, and I saw all the people that were, basically becoming followers and becoming fans. People were saying, "Oh, I just love your scene. I love how you look into the camera." So I started doing that more. I just started feeling what people were already telling me, and I just went off of that. And so when I started doing it, I started to become a brand. And I started telling people, I am a boss, I am a brand. I had to tell myself that. So it took me to hear what people comments were. And there were some bad ones. Oh God, they came off really disrespectful at times. But what that did for me, it made me have a tough skin. And for those people, they watch me, they pay for my videos, they pay for my content, and they also go to my OnlyFans and they pay for that. So thank you. There's something that the things that I've heard that hurt in the past was the very makeup of who I am. My belly button is too big. The scars that I may have that I've gotten from a kid or when I've gotten burned when I was younger. Things of that nature, just people breaking you down. However, it's made me stronger too as well. It's made me work harder in the gym. It's made me prove to people that, I have staying power. And if I decide to leave, I'll leave when I want to. And if I decide to stay, I'll be that bad motherfucker because you just have to become who you are. You have to be confident. You have to know who you are in this industry. If you do not know who you are in this industry, you will be shelved or nobody will ever remember you. People will always remember Mr. Cali. To be shelved. As an adult entertainer, my biggest fear is to not be remembered. To have done all this work and not be remembered. I came here to put a stain in this industry, and I felt like I've done that. Regardless of what people think or don't think, I own who I am. I own my content. I license my own business, Mr. Cali Entertainment. I have been able to have productions in my name. I've been able to, pick who I want to work with studios. I'm interracial. I'm doing all this because I want people to remember who Mr. Cali was. Because if I'm going to do anything, like I said, I put my first foot forward, and I try to accomplish all my goals. Well, I'm now 41 years old. I started at 35. The story behind that was the industry told me to say 28 because I was able to pass, and that's what it was. And then as years went by, I kept lying, and I didn't like it. It just made me feel uncomfortable. I'm like, look, I look great. It doesn't matter whether you're 41, 50, or if you're 21 walking into this industry. A lot of the 21-year-olds can't even hold a candle to me. Let's be honest about it. But it's all about your entertainment shock value. And I was able to do that walking in the door at 35, 6 years into the game, and I'm still playing this game, and I'm still monopolizing this team. So I've been able to work with younger people that always hits me up in my DM. Like my Twitter's always going off. My Instagram is always going off just for, just the fact that younger generations, they see what I do and they want to own and control their image too. So I've been able to help a few people in the industry. I won't drop names, but there are some that I've worked with and have been doing very well, and I'm proud of them. And that's where we are today. So in this industry, I believe, just because from my experience, you have to be able to succeed in this industry. I feel like I've had to cross over and, you know, be connected with the interracial thing, which I don't have a problem with because I love everyone. I'm from California. Listen, everybody's beautiful in their own way. If you know, so it has not been an issue for me. So I've been able to then connect and do interracial scenes with people and content. And I've seen people that would not do it and would not advance. There's been times when they've said no to me. I've had a lot of doors closed in front of my face because I wanted to do black on black if it was an interracial company. And they would only have two options. It would be just black guys. And they'll be like, well, no, we can't put you with them because, you know, they look like you. I said, well, what's wrong with that? However, they have a stereotype of what they want. And it's okay, it's a business. For me, it's a business. I have my own company. I want to pair people up the way I see fit. And so in this industry, I feel like, you know, what I've been able to accomplish, not everybody's going to do. Because I have a mental mind to know that it's business. It's about the money. And as long as you know who you are, you won't have any problems.
I'm sure you've slept with people that you have not been attracted to.
Yes. Okay. So at the beginning of my career, they just used to just give me people I would never fuck with. Not to say that they weren't attracted. It's just say, you know, you have a preference, right? So my preference, you know, was more masculine, and you know, so they were giving me twinks, you know, guys that were real small, because I started off skinny myself, you know, but I was always taller. So they would give me someone that's shorter than me, slimmer than me, and a little bit more feminine, because for that particular moment, that's what they want to give. It's just the energy of things. Like I said, it's a business, and that's all it was for me. I treat everything going forward and anything in the past like business, because I've been able to work, and I'll continue to work. When I decide to stop, that's when, you know, I venture off and do my own thing, and we'll talk about that. Making it work for me was thinking about somebody that was very attracted to. You know, that's just me. And then, you know, I got my Viagra. You know, you got to do what you got to do, baby. Or Trimix. You know, you got to shoot it up. But this is the industry. We got to be. I'm a top. Period. So I had to go in there. If I wasn't attracted to the guy, like I said, there's many things that I could do. I can get them in the back and actually start to feel a chemistry. And so for most part, if I wasn't really attracted to them, I learned that you have to find the chemistry. If you don't nut, you don't get paid. So I'll bring them to the backstage, kiss on them, feel on them, and I'll find it. You know, I mean, what's gonna get your dick hard? But to find that passion between two people. So that's why you will always see passion between my scenes. My advice to give younger generations after me, to ensure better pay or the same pay as a white entertainer, is to always ask for what you deserve. Do not ever walk into a situation and say yes to everything. I want to know how much he's getting paid. I want to know how many scenes he's doing, because I'll do more scenes so that I'll be able to get the same pay. You have to always inquire. You do not sit there and not say anything, because guess what? They're going to walk right past you because they think you're ignorant. They think that you have no training in business. They don't know unless you show them. So don't show them ignorance. Show them that you're a businessman, that you can do anything that you put your mind to. And yes, I deserve this amount of money. This is what I come in walking in as. This is my contract. You will pay for my hotel. You will pay for my flight. You will pay for my booking. There is a budget. Mr. Cali comes with a budget. And so this is my invoice. I'm also doing Mr. Cali Entertainment, which is a production company that's helping other younger generations coming in that want to, you know, do this craft and know what you're getting into. However, I'm transitioning into the music. I just moved here to Atlanta, at Hotlanta, by way of LA, and I have a development deal with a development music company, which has been able to record into the studio and make my own music, work on my own project. And I could say that I'm pushing myself as a musician. How about that? It's been my first love anyway. I've been singing since, I'm sure you guys have heard this, 5 years old. That's what every singer remembers, is when you're 5 years old singing. So I've been singing since I was 5 years old. My mother put me in the choir, and I've done my first solo at 5 years old, and I can remember a day, like it was a day ago, where that was my best moment in church and people looking at me and enjoying my moment. And I can honestly say I love attention. So that gave me exactly what I needed. And I love to sing. I write, produce, I arrange my music. And my mother was my influence. She was a choir major as well. My sister sang. We all sing. I come from a family that sings, so it's nothing that hasn't been with me all my life. So I have a single called "Angry." It's about a past relationship. We ain't talk about relationships, but I was in a 6-year marriage and it ended in January. However, I still love him, but I had to write about it, like the song about it, like the hit it go. And let me tell you, it's helped me. It's helped me get through. And I honestly, I respect my moment with that situation. What it did for me is it pushed me as a singer and a writer, and it's brought me to a place where I'm at now, here talking with you all. I believe that my decisions as being a porn star will definitely have an impact on where I go with my music today. However, I'm okay for whatever backlash or great energy that it's going to give, maybe positive. I don't know, but I know that I have to take a risk. I have to go for it because I love to do it. And whatever success it is, it'll be my success. Whether it's played on the radio, whether it's played on only Pride events, whether it's bookings here and there, I know that this is something that I feel that would take care of my rest of my life. I've saved up, I'm invested in myself. If I was able to go back into my younger self, I would say, younger self, own who you are. Just go for it. Don't be scared to achieve these goals. Don't be scared to fuck up. Don't be scared to create experiences with someone because they might just be there for a season to help you grow. I believe right now I'm in a place where things as a younger self has helped me out today. I've been able to experience these hardships, but were they really hardships? Not really to me, because I've been able to rise above, to achieve, to be able to then help other people. So I think that I'm doing my best life's work. I'm Mr. Cali. This is my story, and I'm sticking to it. I am angry. Angry cause I stayed in this situationship. I'm not to blame.
Brought you out of the hood. Oh, you give me 6 and